invitation. Now over to you.
Thank you very much for such kind and warm welcoming. I hope you will find this session useful. There are quite a few participants today, so I'll try out some things and I hope they will work with so many of us today. So before we begin, I'd like to see if I can share. Okay, so I can share the slides. All right, and another thing, if I can send you the files in the chat. That's another thing I was I think, yes, okay. So I'm going to drop two documents in the file. So can you please download them? And I will instruct you when to use them, if I may. Just a second. Something's not working properly. Just a second. Okay. We're going to talk about classroom management. So what does it mean? And straight away, I will put you in breakout rooms. If are okay.
We'll help you with that, no worries.
No, I mean, I can't see that I can do that.
Yes, we will do it for you.
So
just give
with
instructions.
The partner, yes, please. With the partner, discuss the question, what does classroom management mean? In a group of 3, it's also possible. Can we take 2 minutes for that, please?
We have the previous groups and we have the rooms that we've opened before, so we can use the same, but there are not even numbers. So sometimes there are 3, 5,
That's
6
fine.
people.
I don't mind at all.
We'll use the same then.
Group pair work, group of 2. That's okay.
So everybody please join the rooms then.
Thank you. Just 2 minutes, please. And Irina, I can't visit the rooms, right? As far as I can see.
How they can use some pencils or lines, or they can add some comments or drawings on the screen. So I would like to know how we can address these kinds of problems.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay.
Probably we should begin with discipline, yeah?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But always, all the activities should be disciplined.
No, it's not an activity. Mhm. So it depends on teachers' creativity.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And the goals she has set for that lesson.
Angela, I'm afraid I cannot hear you well.
Probably because of my voice. Yeah.
I thought it's about your microphone. Sorry.
No, I have some problems with my voice. It's very low.
I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Okay. So, what effective strategies have you used during your teaching? Online teaching, especially.
Cube, spider, we can use
Once again, sorry.
crosswords,
Mhm.
different methods
Yeah, but
of
if
teaching.
some behaviors that you wanted to minimize, what did you do? What steps did you take in order to minimize the bad behaviors or behaviors that impede learning? Okay, I guess we'll have to find out from our teacher.
Oh, okay. So you are back from the rooms.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
Just say individually, please, right? So 2 minutes to match the word to the definition, please. So that will be something if you can see this. So you've got getting attention, eliciting, instructions, checking questions, pair check, fast finishers, and so on. And so definition number 1, telling students how to do the task or a task. So that would be
giving instructions.
Great. So 2 minutes individually, please. All right, so I hope you got like most of everything or almost everything right. So what do you think? Which of these, since we're talking about online environment, are necessary for us when we teach or set up an online exercise? Any ideas? Which of these is not, from this handout, is not as important as the rest of them? Can you chat your suggestions?
Probably anchoring.
Okay, right.
Agree with anchoring.
Okay, right. So I would say that all of them are essential essential to take into account when you teach online. But anchoring, yes, because if you are standing in the middle of the classroom, that's of course that's important. But if you're still sitting in front of the computer, and you wouldn't probably start speaking and just stand up somewhere else and hide behind your computer. So you're still, so anchoring is just as it is. You are, when you start speaking, you're already here and your students are looking at you. I was also, I saw an idea here, gestures. Probably, but if you're explaining something, if you're showing your students maybe that they need to work with a partner, or maybe if they want to, if you want to highlight some pronunciation probably, or elicit some mistakes or error correction. So that's probably something you would use. But of course, not something in front of your face, which will not make it possible for your students to see you, and you will just distract them from using too many gestures. Okay, so so everything else, as we've all agreed, is essential for teaching online, and especially when you teach online, because a lot of things are very difficult to do. So if we, let's say, think about monitoring, it becomes a little bit difficult to jump from one room to another if you have a lot of students, and to actually see if they're doing something. And if it's a written task, you cannot be actually sure that they are writing, unless you can ask them to put their handouts and show you that they are actually, that they've done something. It's easier with speaking, because with speaking activities, you can hear your students speaking or not, or doing the task, or talking about their friends and family. All right. So when you set up a task for students, and this would be something that you would do in the outside online, in the offline situation. So individually, could you please work and read these stages, right? Just 3 minutes. Can you please put these in the order you would do them in your classroom? Just here in the main room, we don't need to separate into breakout rooms. So let's say 3 minutes to do the task, please.
Anna, can you number them instead of using bullet points?
Yes, it would be nice. It would be nice and easier to do the task. Thank you.
Okay, because they're numbered in the they are numbered in the different, they will be numbered in the different in the answers, they will be numbered different, so we'll then have to just go through them all together.
Maybe it is better to give them letters. Letter A will be the first, letter B will be, I don't know.
Okay, up to you. Let's give them letters. Okay. How about that? Better?
Yes.
Good. Right, so look at me. So, oops, sorry. Look at me, yes, that would be anchoring. You would stay in the middle of the classroom and you would say, you will drag your students' attention to that. And then you would do something like this. You would show them a handout and you say, look at this task. Then that's testing materials. I'm pretty sure you know, you're aware of that. And after that, you would give instructions. You would most probably, if your students have the answer, the books, you can ask them to do number 1 together. So as a demo, so you're sure that everyone is doing the same thing. And number 5, you would ask them questions to check if the instructions were given and the students were listening to your instructions. Then you would ask the students to give one person to give out the copies, or maybe just pass them around the classroom if there were no copies. So your students start doing the task. Then you would stop them at some point, ask them to compare with their partner. And if they agree with each other's answer, sorry, typo. And after that, you would ask them to compare as a whole class and check actually if they have the same or different. So I hope you got the same or very close to this answers. Okay. Do we have any question? How can they do? That's a very good question. So if you have, you can read, for example, you can read the question to them and elicit the answer. If they don't have handouts, if they have the books, they can read. Yes, so you can all take a book and say, okay, now look at exercise 3 page or exercise 1 page 15. Look at number 1. Read the sentences, fill in the gaps with the correct form. So now let's do number 1 together. And that's how you do it. If you don't have the handouts with you, or for vice versa, if you have handouts in your hands, you can show a very good idea. You can show one question on the projector and then give instructions. Yes, all can 4 and 5 be switched? Yes, you can check if they understand what they're supposed to do, and then you can ask them to do number 1 together. That's fine. Okay, yes, that's very nice from Marina to say the handouts only after instructions. Yes, somebody may ask why, but the answer is in the chat. Yes, nobody is listening to you if you have given out the handouts, especially if they're nice and colorful pictures on it. All right, so let's move on a little bit. All right, now can I ask you to look at the task that says handout 2 in your the one I sent you. I hope everyone received it.
Could you upload it one more time, please?
Yes, no problem. Okay, the handout is there. Okay. So you will see this for most of you. It will probably look very familiar because we all have used this book and we all have probably done a task that's pretty much similar to one of these, right? So bearing, no, I'm afraid you can't download this if you're using smartphone. Let me do like this. Okay, so you can, the only thing that you can do, you can take a picture of this screenshot if you wish. So we all know that this is the find 10 differences activity, right? Now, so with, I would ask you to work with your partner one more time. And in your groups, look at the task that you've received. And what do you need, discuss with your partner, what do you need to take into account before setting it up online? Okay, so please, can I ask Irina to open the rooms? Yes. Sometimes teachers like pairing up with their students and being their student, the missing student B. Even real life classroom, that might work if you are, you know, mastermind and you can hear everybody's work and you can monitor while doing the task. A little bit difficult and energy consuming for teachers. Here, it's in online environment, it's impossible. So for you to be able to see what your students are doing and if they're on the task or require help from you, so it's better to organize a group of 3 rather than pair up and do the task with one of the students. Okay, anyone has any comments probably? Okay. Yes, there are very many different ways of sharing the pictures. Yes, so let's on this sum up. Okay, so let's move on to something else. All right. So offline versus online activities. Yes. So what is different and what should we think about? Yes. So let's look and summarize a little bit. So this is the typical outline how you start. So you enter the classroom before giving an instruction. And here you get your students' attention by saying hello or whatever. Then you test your materials in real life. Here you can also test your materials if your students have course book and you can kind of show it in the camera. If not, you may probably want to share your screen and to demonstrate the activity. So we give instructions in both situations. This is essential because we want our students to actually be doing what they're supposed to be. We do demo with the student the tasks in both situations. We do ask instruction checking questions. That's also essential. So individual work and then setting up pairs or groups. In this case, yes, we need to think about this a little bit in advance and prepare our breakout rooms if you wish. I don't know, sometimes if I do a jigsaw activity, when I have groups of 3 working together and then I know that I need to mix them up, I simply, while they're working in their first stage, I simply use a piece of paper and I regroup them on the piece of paper in order to do this quickly when clicking and setting up the groups, the breakout rooms, because that's probably because I'm also a little bit visual learner, so I can't do that with my out of like in a second without any help. So we distribute the task by hand in our real life classroom. Here we share the screen, we ask to open file, or we drop the file in the chat. So this is also one thing that makes it different. Monitoring and timing. I would actually say that in online learning, and I've noticed that myself, it takes a little bit longer to do the tasks rather than, and the whole lesson, the pace becomes slower. So here in online learning, it's essential to give this, you know, you have 1 minute left, 10 seconds left, 15 seconds left, 30 seconds left. It's helpful for you, it's helpful for your students, so your students do not drift away and think, oh, okay, my teacher is not watching me, so I can, I don't know, do whatever I want. No, this time countdown actually gives them, you know, keeps them a little bit alert, and that you know, you're watching them, the feeling that you're watching them. So pair check, and the students can finish at different time in real life classroom. Here you set up breakout rooms. It's quick with this random for pair check. It's automatically, you click just the number of tasks, number of rooms you need. That makes it very easy and handy. For pair check in these rooms. And what I personally really like is the 1 minute countdown that starts when you click close the rooms. So your students know that they still have 1 minute left to work, and they will be automatically kicked out in the main room. So it makes it, you know, a bit more organized. Everybody finishes at the same, pretty much at the same time, and joins in the rooms. Okay, wheel of names. That's a very good thing, actually. This wheel of names, you need to, you can use it, it's online thing, or for nominating, you can ask your students to nominate each other while you are giving feedback. And for open class feedback, not you nominate, your students are nominating. So they say, student 1, what do you think? And then student 1 says, okay, what do you think, student 2? For open class feedback, especially for grammar, reading, any kind of activities which have answers, it's a very good idea to show your students the answers, because the internet may be lagging, something may be wrong, someone may have, I don't know, skipped something. Here they have visual confirmation, they can double check, basically. All right, so I guess that's the main difference between offline and online. And as you may see, there is not a bigger difference between classroom management online and offline. These are the basic things that we do in both cases, and we just need to keep doing them, and everything will work really well. So, any questions? I guess either internet is lagging or there aren't any questions. I hope you found this very useful, and you will receive this presentation, and I will okay, what are the most common sorry, what are the most common problems? So most common problems is the internet, probably, and students hiding behind the camera that's off. So I usually insist on my students using their cameras, unless the technical issues are not very well. I mean, the technical support is not very good. So if they have an old-fashioned computer that doesn't have a camera, well, there is nothing you can do. You can only ask your student to keep their microphones on and keep working with you. A good question, what is chesting materials? So if you're standing in front of the classroom, I hope you can see me. Imagine this is my handout. This is my chest. So you put the materials in front of your students, and you're showing to all your students which activity they're working on, right? Okay. Oh my God. I hope I didn't miss many. So I didn't include my details in the presentation. So Anne, if you would like to ask me a couple of questions about this, so please don't hesitate to write me. Why is it only to Irina? So please do not, just a second. I'll type my email.
And I will play around the virtual applause for you.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone. So you can also find me on Facebook, Anna Basarab. So keep active, keep asking questions. And I would also like to thank you for participating. And thank you for such a great opportunity to be part of this big community and a part of you know, giving my little contribution to the teachers, I would say, all over the world. So yes, then thank you very much. And I'm supposed to probably give the floor back to Irina, as she's the main host.
Thank you for sharing. And yes, you can see the feedback form in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
So you will have several minutes to complete it. As Larissa mentioned early in the morning, it will be valid, will be open for 1 hour after the session. After that, it's closed. So you have 1 hour to complete your feedback for the second part of the day today. And we will meet tomorrow at 10 as usual to continue our training, and this will be our last day. So if you have some ideas how to organize the closing of this training, you're welcome to share them as well. We want to do it in a fun way, but it's online, so we have to be as creative as possible. So ideas welcome.
One of my ideas I wanted to share while everybody's completing the feedback was to have the opportunity to celebrate, because I bet that most of you know that today we celebrate a special day. Do you know what is the day about?
The year they cancel the annual.
That's right. So we celebrate our National Costume Day, Year's Day. Tomorrow we can dress up in years, why not? And write a very interesting virtual message for those who you think should be thanked for what they've done during this semester. Maybe a special teacher, special doctor, somebody else. So yes, Alona says that we should put hats on and glasses. Oh yes, this would be a wonderful one. This would be a very, very good way to end up and to start enjoying vacation.
And maybe like a glass of something, a glass of lemonade to show that we start our vacation.
Yes, yes. We can also, I don't know, come up with wishes. Thank you words, wishes to each other, to everyone. We can choose somebody from the group that you met during this 3 and tomorrow already 4 days, and thank that specific person for something, or wish them something very nice and good. So it's up to you to decide which one would be the best, which one you would like to do. we'll just can come up with several more ideas. As we said, ideas are welcome. If there are no other ideas, maybe while you complete the feedback, you'll come up with some. We can also just play some music to relax.